Okay guys, I'm back again. This time showing my new to me late 2006 iMac. Ended up getting this guy absolutely free because it wouldn't power on and the guy was upgrading anyway. But it was a really simple fix. The RAM modules weren't seated correctly. I'm not too sure if they were not seated correctly from the factory or not, because he didn't do anything to this besides add software. But all I had to do, it literally took me 2.5 minutes to fix, is take the two Phillips head screws out of the bottom below the Apple symbol there, push the RAM modules in all the way, put the screws back in, and hit the power button, and it powered right up. After that, I did do a factory restore just to make sure, you know, all of his data was off of there and that the machine was clear, and got it up to Snow Leopard 10.6.8. Which I'm thinking of paying the $20 upgrade to get the Lion operating system. I don't think I can download it anymore from the App Store, but I can definitely order the disc either from Apple directly, or I'm probably find on Amazon or eBay, something like that, if I can get a better deal. But it's only 20 bucks to upgrade the operating system, which isn't bad at all. Now it can't be upgraded to the latest and greatest, which is the Mavericks or even Mountain Lion, but that's just because Apple won't allow it. I personally think the hardware is up to task. It's got every factory option you can think of, every single one. This machine had to cost upwards of $3,000 back when it was purchased, simply because of all the options. Let me give you the standard specs. This is a 20-inch iMac with the Intel Core 2 Duo, 2.16 gigahertz. And that's about all the standard on it. It's the processor and the screen size. Everything else has been upgraded. Let me go ahead and show you. Let's exit out of this really quick and go to About This Mac. So you can see the processor there. It's been upgraded with the factory 2 gigs of RAM. The standard was 1 gig via two 512 sticks. Of course, the operating system has been updated later on to Snow Leopard, but it also has an upgraded graphics card. A lot of these late 2006 iMacs had graphics card issues with the Radeon X1600 128 megabyte version. This guy has the 256 megabyte version. So with this, I haven't seen any graphics problems, and a lot of people online haven't listed issues with this specific graphics card. It's that 128 megabyte card that seems to have the problem with the glitchy displays, either having a couple of vertical lines, horizontal lines, or just completely glitching out. The 256 megabyte card hasn't experienced that. Another upgrade it's got is the Super Drive. Came standard with a combo drive, but that was upgraded to this. The airport has been upgraded to an airport extreme. So instead of it being, you know, a wireless G back then, it has the wireless N capability. So it's running nice and fast on my wireless N network right now. Let's see what else has been upgraded. The hard drive was factory upgraded up from 250 gigs to the 500 gig, and I believe that's it. As far as the factory options, he got literally every factory option that was available. So this was not a cheap machine back then. Pretty sure if he could have gotten the HD eyesight camera, he probably could have gotten that, but that wasn't available back then. This is a standard definition eyesight, but everything works. The microphone, the camera, the Super Drive works perfectly. I've been playing DVDs in it. It plays HD video perfectly. Those just don't last very long. Got some more too that are powered by AAA. These stick and click lights, got a few of these. Again, AAA batteries are nice and bright while they last, but they just don't have the capacity of a... So yeah, everything works perfectly on this, and I got it for absolutely free. It literally took me 2.5 minutes worth of work to get it in working order. Now, cosmetically, it's also perfect. There's not a whole lot of damage on there. Of course, you're gonna get like little circular scratches on here just from it being as old as it is, but there's no dents or dings, there's no deep scratching, there's no yellowing or cracking of the plastic. It's just in perfect shape. The only thing that I didn't get with this was the Apple accessories. He kept those, the power cord, the keyboard and mouse, but it runs Windows keyboard and mouse just fine. You know, I'm running an old Sony Vaio keyboard and a cheap Micro Center mouse that doesn't work too good. I'm probably gonna end up getting a Logitech wireless desktop to hook up with this, and then you know, run that like that, because the Apple keyboard and mouse, in order to get those wireless, is pretty expensive. They're like 60-70 bucks a piece, so I'm not gonna fool around with those. I can get a wireless Logitech keyboard for 30-40 bucks. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm definitely gonna enjoy this iMac that I got for free. I always wanted one of these. This was one of my main wants back in 2006, 2007, because I actually watched the keynote then. I had played around with a G5 at work before. G5 is basically the same machine minus the iSight camera. Some of them later editions came with an iSight, but the one I was working on had the PowerPC processor without the iSight camera. And you know, it was still pretty zippy for a single core processor. It wasn't as fast as this, but for something that old, and it had something like 512 megabytes of RAM, it was still pretty zippy. I can get online with it. Of course, you know, websites weren't as advanced as they are now, where they require a lot of flash and just require a lot more processing power. This guy, the G5 back then, was pretty zippy. Most of the things I were doing on it was running, you know, programs for my job and checking my email, and it did that perfectly. And I would also read news articles. It just ran great. So I liked the design of it. It was nice and thin. Well, it was considered thin back then. Nowadays, you would consider this quite thick. But yeah, that's still a pretty thin computer in my book. And I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm not gonna sell it, but if I did sell it, this guy will probably go for a little over 300 bucks with all those factory upgrades. You can find these Intel iMacs with the Core Duo for around 150 bucks, although you might have some problems because the graphics card might be bad. But as long as you can find a good one, you'll spend anywhere from 150 to 200 bucks for a standard version. But if you want this upgraded version, it's probably going to be around 300 bucks or more. So, as always, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.